Book 1, wherein he expounds the peculiar and natural blessings of marriage. He shows that among these blessings must not be reckoned fleshly concupiscence, inasmuch as this is wholly evil, such as does not proceed from the very nature of marriage, but is an accident thereof arising from original sin. This evil, notwithstanding, is rightly employed by marriage for the procreation of children. But, as the result of this concupiscence, it comes to pass that, even from the lawful marriage of the children of God, men are not born children of God, but of the world, and are bound with the chain of sin, although their parents have been liberated therefrom by grace, and are led captive by the devil, if they be not in like manner rescued by the self-same grace of Christ. He explains how it is that concupiscence remains in the baptized, in act, though not in guilt. He teaches that by the sanctity of baptism, not merely this original guilt, but all other sins of men whatever are taken away. He lastly quotes the authority of Ambrose to show that the evil of concupiscence must be distinguished from the good of marriage. Chapter 1. Concerning the argument of this treatise. Our new heretics, my dearest son Valerius, who maintain that infants born in the flesh have no need of that medicine of Christ whereby sins are healed, are constantly affirming, in their excessive hatred of us, that we condemn marriage and that divine procedure by which God creates human beings by means of men and women, inasmuch as we assert that they who are born of such a union contract that original guilt of which the apostle says, quote, "By one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all men, for in him all sinned," end quote. And because we do not deny that of whatever kind of parents they are born, they are still under the devil's dominion, unless they be born again in Christ, and by his grace be removed from the power of darkness and translated into his kingdom, who willed not to be born from the same union of the two sexes, because then we affirm this doctrine, which is contained in the oldest and unvarying rule of the Catholic faith. These propounders of the novel and perverse dogma, who assert that there is no sin in infants to be washed away in the laver of regeneration, in their unbelief or ignorance calumniate us, as if we condemned marriage, and as if we asserted to be the devil's work what is God's own work, the human being which is born of marriage. Nor do they reflect that the good of marriage is no more impeachable on account of the original evil which is derived therefrom, than the evil of adultery and fornication is excusable on the account of the natural good which is born of them. For as sin is the work of the devil, from whencesoever contracted by infants, so man is the work of God, from whencesoever born. Our purpose, therefore, in this book, so far as the Lord vouchsafes us in his help, is to distinguish between the evil of carnal concupiscence, from which man who is born therefrom contracts original sin, and the good of marriage. For there would have been none of this shame-producing concupiscence, which is impudently praised by impudent men, if man had not previously sinned. While as to marriage, it would still have existed, even if no man had sinned, since the procreation of children in the body that belonged to that life would have been effected without that malady, which in, quote, the body of this death, end quote, cannot be separated from the process of procreation.